In the end zone. Aikman to Harper, and they lead 14-7. Kevin Williams chasing it down, tries to stay in bounds, can't. I think he must have thought he had more room than he did. He discussed it with himself. And have a look at Aikman by quarter.
Well, that first quarter for Troy Aikman was probably one of the worst quarters he's ever had, maybe in his life. He was 0 for 7, and 0 for 4, no yards, no TDs, 1 interception. Then in the second quarter, he got to be Troy Aikman, 7 out of 10, 95 yards, and a touchdown pass. But I think that first quarter, Bud Carson and the calls that he made kept the Cowboys off balance.
1st and 10, Dallas at their own 10. After Kevin Williams ran out of bounds, Aikman puts Novacek in motion and hands off to Emmitt Smith. And he is hit just as he approaches the line of scrimmage. Well, Bud Carson said Emmitt Smith's the best second-half runner he's ever seen. He'll have a chance to prove that.
Watch William Perry here. When he starts to come in there, you just can't stop him from going in there. I mean, he is so big in that middle. They double team him. He just splits and breaks the double team, and then Emmitt tries to cut back into Perry. You can't do that. You can't run at the refrigerator and make a living, nor can you cut back into him.
I don't care if he is heavy or what he looks like. Aikman gets the ball to Novacek, who drops it, but there's a flag on the play. Byron Evans firing up the middle on a blitz. Start to say, regardless of what you think of William Perry's weight, that was one heck of a play he made.
Offside, 51 defense, 5 yards, repeat second down.
William Thomas, the Eagle, offside. So the Cowboys will add 5 and make it 2nd and 5.
Because if William Perry doesn't want to go one way, you're not going to make him go one way. Even when you have a big guy like Nate Newton and a good blocker like Mark Stepnoski, well, even when you have him double teamed, if he doesn't want to go where you're going to take him, he's not going there.
On 2nd down, Aikman back to throw it. Pumps, goes deep for Irvin, incomplete. The pump didn't get him in time.
No, that had to be a big part of this Cowboy game plan, because Troy Aikman is probably pumped as much as I've ever seen. You see Jackson here, he's pointing, he said, there's Irvin. Now, he's going to help. See, McMillan has him on the outside. Jackson's taking him on the inside. See, they call that a banjo. They had him banjoed. He really fooled Jackson, but he didn't fool McMillan. See, when Jackson had him on the inside, Irvin gave him that move to the inside. That held Jackson.
So it's 3rd and 5. And a timeout called by the Cowboys. So they'll have 2 left in the second half. 3rd and 5. Cowboys at their own 15. They lead by a touchdown. Back at Texas Stadium, Pat Summerall with John Madden. 3rd and 5. Cowboys ball at their own 15. Aikman, a flag on the play. Aikman got away from Perry, doesn't get away from Fuller, but a penalty marker down. Somebody to his left, the quarterback's left, moved.
I'll tell you, Bill Romanowski got out there and took away that pattern. He was trying to throw that quickly out here to his right to Michael Irvin. Romanowski got out there. He couldn't throw it.
93 defense, offside, 5 yards, first down.
Greg Townsend, 2 penalties against the Eagles give the Cowboys a first down at the 20.
And it was really a good defense, because they called the defense and disguised it, and Aikman darn near threw right into it, but he's too smart to be trapped in that one.
Novacek is the move man. Here's Aikman to Emmitt Smith. Chased by Townsend, and Smith skates out of bounds after getting a first down. That's his longest run of the day. Second half.
And with that run, Emmitt Smith just went ahead of Don Perkins as a 2nd all-time rusher of the Dallas Cowboys.
Behind Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett was here a week ago. They put he and Randy White in the Ring of Honor. He went in the Hall of Fame this year.
Big year for Tony.
Not a bad guy to be behind.
That Smith hit hard by Greg Jackson.
Yeah, that's what these coordinators do. You start running on them, and they give you that 8-man front. Now, how do you get to an 8-man front? You have your 4 linemen, and then you just have your 3 linebackers, and you just bring your safety up, and that gives you 8 men up there. In fact, they have another one. They have 9 men up. So there's no way that you're going to run against that. Wherever you go, there's going to be an extra tackler.
2nd and 11. This time Jackson is back deep. Greg Jackson back deep in the middle. They'll rush 4 or maybe a blitz. Here comes a linebacker. And Aikman gets it to Novacek, and it's incomplete.
You're talking about Greg Jackson. He's really made some big plays today, and I know that the Eagles feel that their defense has improved, and 2 of the reasons are the 2 safeties, Greg Jackson and Michael Zordich. The job that they've done against the pass and the run. I mean, they can play when you run. Those are 2 tough guys who can play like linebackers.
And, of course, they're very proud of the acquisition of Bill Romanowski and of William Fuller.
Yeah, Fuller has his hands full today going against Eric Williams, right tackle, who I think is one of the best in the game.
On 3rd down, Aikman pumps again. Has to throw it away. Nobody came open. Kevin Williams was the closest Cowboy receiver.
And Eric Williams and William Fuller are still going at it back there. They're still blocking, but just watch. If we can just watch Eric Williams and just see how good he is. Here he is. Here's Williams. Here's Fuller. But Eric Williams is about 330 pounds, and he's quick. I mean, he's so big, so strong. You see Fuller tries to give him arm over, like nothing. I mean, Williams just sticks to him. He's just too big and strong for him.
Can't get rid of him.
He's the best. Eric Williams is the best.
Jet back to punt. Another good kick. Jeff Seidner. Still on his feet, still spinning. Gets to about the 34, where the Eagles will take over right there. We're in the 3rd quarter with 12:19 left, and the Cowboys up by 7. Stadium, where the Cowboys lead the Eagles 14-7.
You know, if you look at Randall Cunningham's distribution, you see that he's only thrown 1 ball, or completed 1 ball to a wide receiver, and that was Calvin Williams. Fred Barnett hasn't caught a pass yet, and I think if the Eagles are going to stretch this defense or get this Cowboy defense to loosen up, I think Fred Barnett has to get involved in this game, or Randall Cunningham has to get Fred Barnett involved in it.
That's Calvin Williams in motion. And Fred Barnett was the intended receiver. Larry Brown was the nearest defender.
Yeah, and that's what they have to get the ball to Fred Barnett, and you watch Randall Cunningham in the first quarter. He was 6 out of 11, 71 yards and a touchdown, and then he just went cold. In the second quarter, of course, they didn't have the ball as much, but he didn't complete a pass, and he has to get back to that rhythm that he had going in the first quarter.
Garner is the lone back. 2 tight ends for the Eagles. Maurice Johnson was the man in motion, chased by Haley, chased out of the pocket. Cunningham gets rid of it. And that's got to be a flag. Robert Jones ran into the intended receiver, Charlie Garner. He never saw the ball. Jones didn't.
No, he was probably beaten, or Gardner made a move on him, and then he just had to turn and run. And of course, that's what happens when a quarterback scrambling.
55 defense. First down.
When a quarterback scrambles as a defender downfield, then you have to stay with your guy longer. Watch now, here comes Garner out of here. Now when Cunningham scrambles, he's buying time. So now instead of Garner running a short pattern, he turns up and he goes up the field. Jones says, I got to go find him, and he just ran right into him. You can't even argue that one.
Cunningham gives to Garner. And he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. James Washington and Russell Maron converge.
That's the other thing. You know, we talk about the safeties of the Eagles. I think it's the same thing with the safeties of this Cowboy team with Woodson and Washington. You know, if you have to take away that run, you get that 8th guy up, and that 8th guy is a safety. And when he can tackle well, then you can get a big run stop.
2nd and 11. Walker now is the lone setback. Cunningham back to throw it. Going to have time this time. Going deep for Barnett. Incomplete. Brown with the coverage.
That was a good play by Barnett, Pat. He had to turn into a defender there. I think he had Larry Brown beaten by a step. Cunningham throws this ball short. You see, Barnett could have gotten by him, but he had to stop and come back and then turn into a defender to knock that ball out of Larry Brown's hand, or that would have been an interception.
That's good coverage by Brown. As you said, Cunningham underthrew it just a bit. Sometimes they do that on purpose.
But I think Barnett was going for the end zone, and if Cunningham had thrown it there, it would have been interesting.
A blitz. Chased by Hennings. Down goes Cunningham. Flag on the play.
I think Cunningham knew that he had a free play there too, Pat. That looks like that someone jumped. Maybe he thought he had a free play, and maybe it was against the Eagles, but there was some kind of offsides there because they were jumping before that ball was snapped.
On both sides, but I think the Cowboys first.
94 defense, neutral zone infraction, 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
Here's Charles Haley right there. Now the neutral zone again is a link to the football. You see, if you get in that right there, there was about 4 or 5 of them in there. Haley was just the deepest of them.
The leader.
Yeah, they were all there before that ball was snapped. One thing Charles will do is he tries to get a jump on that snap, and he'll sometimes anticipate.
It's 3rd down, about 6. Walker on the move, and Cunningham will put it up. Comes out of there, does Randall Cunningham, and a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. He's gotten far beyond the 1st down marker, but a flag on the play.
Boy, did Charles Haley make her move on Bernard Williams that time. If you wonder why Cunningham scrambled to the right, it was because of the move that Haley made on Williams. I don't think he's going to be here and take an inside move, and that'll make a quarterback scramble anytime.
10 yards, repeat 3rd down.
That's holding, that's tackling, that's whatever you want to call it.
And that's what caused Cunningham to go right, but Bernard Williams was beaten so badly and so quickly by Charles Haley that he had to do something, and the last resort was tackling.
And that's what he did. And that's still 3rd down.
That's what Haley brings to you. I mean, Haley causes havoc. He's like a bull in a china closet. I mean, he just runs in and just stuff happens.
Joseph is the lone setback, and Cunningham back to throw it. That's going to be picked off. Darren Woodson. He had 2 interceptions last week, and he picks up another one this week. Woodson brings it back to the Eagles 31. Cunningham going backwards, let it go.
And Darren Woodson is turning into one of the best safeties in this league. We've always known he's always been a hitter, but now he's a coverage guy and making interceptions and making all kinds of plays. Darren Woodson is all over the field. But again, it starts with pressure. And Cunningham had pressure the play before. Here he's getting it from Haley again. You see, Haley was right at his feet. He couldn't step with that left foot. He didn't have anything on it. You see, watch that. You see, he couldn't step and follow through. So that took just enough off the ball that let Darren Woodson get over there and jump in front of James Joseph.
1st down, Cowboys at the Eagle 31. And the handoff is to Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt Smith bangs down inside the 20. To about the 19, 1st down. Greg Jackson made the stop.
I think Robert Jones is thanking Woodson for that interception because Jones was the guy that had the penalty that put the Eagles in pretty good field position. But the Cowboys are starting to get control of this game. I mean, you can feel the guys on the bench getting control of it. You can feel these guys that are on the field that they're getting control of this game.
1st and 10 for Dallas at the Eagle 19. Emmitt Smith to the 15. He was down. The ball came loose, but he was down. Art Demas standing there pointing. Bring it back.
Yeah, he could have had one more cutback. He could have gone out one more man here when he cuts back to the right, because Eric Williams gets a pretty good block there, and he just gets tripped up.
That ball came loose on the way down. That was loose.
But I think maybe he got it back, though.
Maybe he did.
Yeah, that ball did come out before he went down, but it looked like he grabbed it before anyone else got it.
2nd and 6. He would try Emmitt again. Not much. Mike Flores made the stop on Emmitt Smith.
You know, all these running plays that Emmitt Smith runs is basically run one play. It's a lead draw.
Yep.
Gerald Johnston is a lead blocker, and they just hand the ball deeply to Emmitt Smith, and he runs what they call pick-a-hole.
3rd and 5. They run in 3 wide receivers this time, including Kevin Williams. He's in one slot. Harper's in the slot to the left, and Novacek to the right. Smith is behind Aikman. Touchdown, Novacek.
Right, and Troy Aikman put that ball in there. Holy moly, that is an all-pro pass. I mean, you talk about chunking it in there. You watch this chunk. He looks here. He's going to find him right there. He gets that ball up there and decides, and he puts the heat on it there. Whew.
That ball didn't take long to get there. Boniol's extra point is good. It's 21-7. 8:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Aikman to Novacek.
Thomas doesn't have a chance.
By Budweiser. Dallas has scored 21 straight points. In total yards, the Cowboys now have the edge, 185 to 114. Cunningham and the Eagles have had 4 turnovers. Boniol's kick sails down to Von Hebron. Down at about the 25. Bill Bates. How long has he been doing that? Before he was the specialist, Sylvester Stallone starred in the mother of all comedies. Estelle Getty co-stars in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot on the Fox Tuesday night movie beginning at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Here is, speaking of specialist, how long's number 40 been doing that?
I think he's been doing it forever. Forever a cowboy, forever a tough guy, forever an emotional leader. Whatever football is all about, I think Bill Bates is a pretty good definition.
This is Garner. Charlie Garner. Tripped up by Dixon Edwards.
You see, that's the way they started the game. That's what they had to get back to. I mean, this is what Charlie Garner gives them. I mean, he'll get in there, he'll tighten that defense up, because if you give him any looseness, if you give him any holes, you just have to block a few. He'll make moves on the rest and get the ball upfield. I know, it's a dilemma for Rich Kotite, because the guy has an injury. You don't want to play him too much. You don't want to run him too much. But if you don't play him and run him, you can't win.
He's out of the game right now. Herschel Walker's the deep back. Here's Cunningham back to throw it. Swings it outside to Barnett. Barnett pays the price. Hit by Darren Smith.
This Darren Smith is really becoming a linebacker. I mean, he's becoming a force for this Cowboy defense. It seems like he was playing last year as a rookie, and he was just kind of there, just did his job. And I've noticed in the last couple of games, I mean, he's blitzing and making hits. We saw that. He's making hits downfield. He's making hits on special teams. It seems like wherever the ball is, Darren Smith is starting to get pretty close to it.
2nd and 3. You're so right. All three of those linebackers really playing well. Here's Cunningham, and the Cowboys in a blitz, and the ball is batted down. A flag on the play. Leon Lett was saying I was held, and the big cat might have been.
Well, the guy that was right there with Cunningham was Tony Tolbert. You got Haley coming from one side, Tolbert from the other side. Big cat Leon Lett up the middle. Russell Maryland up the middle. This is becoming a tough front four.
And when they get tired, Chad Hennings has developed.
Offense, 10 yards, repeat second down.
Broderick Thompson called for holding.
Here's Leon Lett there. He was the one that complaining. But it was Broderick Thompson right up here that does the holding. And he was trying to hold Tony Tolbert. And Tolbert was the guy who put the pressure on.
And it was Lett who batted the ball down.
Watch him. He comes right here. Tolbert worked right through that pressure. And Leon Lett batted the ball down, as you say.
2nd and 13. Cunningham chased by Kenneth Gant in his face, and Chad Hennings, who caved things in.
Well, 2 years ago, remember when the Cowboys used to play that nickel defense and they would play Woodson and Gant? They were so tough on it. Then Gant got hurt. Woodson got hurt. Now they got him back, and now it's not only the front four, but here comes Kenny Gant again. You see, he's coming from that outside. He made Cunningham throw the ball, and then he knocked it down with his left hand. There's another guy who's getting to be all over the place. It's Kenny Gant.
He can get excited for you. 3rd and 13. And Cunningham takes a timeout.
Now they got him where they want him.
6:54 left in the third quarter. Dallas 21-7. Back at Texas Stadium, Dallas leading Philadelphia 21-17. Pat Summerall with John Madden. 3rd and 13 for the Eagles. Again, Haley jumped. Long count by Cunningham, and Haley jumped.
Yeah, the Eagles started out and they had things going their own way, but look at their last 5 possessions.
Whoa, this one is against the Eagles. Called against Cunningham.
Yeah, they'll do that. They still have that head bobbing rule, but look what happened. They had one, they had a quick kick, then they had interception. And then, of course, we have this series coming up here. Randall Cunningham started the game out. Remember, he was 6 for 8.
Right.
And then he's gone since then. Since he was 6 for 8, he's gone 1 for 12.
3rd and 18. James Joseph behind Cunningham. Back to throw it. Forced up into the pocket. Gets it out to Victor Bailey in midfield, but not enough to pick up a first down. Larry Brown on the coverage.
At some point, this Dallas defense is going to start really getting some credit as being one of the good defenses in football. They have the statistics. They're #1 in the league, and they're starting to play like that.
That's Broderick Thompson, who is down.
Again, you see here, they just have a 3-man rush. They're playing a prevent type of defense. They only got 3 guys coming, but when one of the 3 is Charles Haley, he'll still get back there and make that quarterback do something.
That's Broderick Thompson, who's down. 21-7, Cowboys lead the Eagles. 35 left in the third quarter at Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys lead the Eagles 21-7. Brian Barker back to punt. Kevin Williams back deep. Barker gets off a good kick. Bounds into the end zone. Next Sunday, Fox NFL Sunday begins at noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific, with the hottest 1-hour pregame show on television. Then it's Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader action at 1 o'clock Eastern. Chicago battles Detroit. The Rams take on the Saints. And the Redskins face the Colts. Then at 4 Eastern, John and I will be in Arizona as the Cardinals take on these Cowboys. In the other late games, the Falcons travel to Los Angeles to face the Raiders, and Tampa Bay squares off against San Francisco. Check your local listings for the game in your area next Sunday right here on Fox Sports. Emmitt Smith. Stopped by Michael Zordich, the safety man.
We had the game last week against the Cardinals, and then this week, and then next week against the Cardinals. The last 2 games, they've outscored their opponents 93-17. So the Cowboys are an offensive machine with a #1 defense. That's not a bad combination.
That'll keep you playing in January. Second and a couple. Smith didn't quite get it. William Perry.
Yeah, did you see Nate Newton? He was mad. He got up and clapped his hands because he's the guy. That's Nate against Perry, and you don't like to see your guy get off. Here's Nate, and you see here's Perry. Now he has to get him blocked. You see him drive into him, and Perry just turned him. He just turned my man Nate, just threw him right to the ground, and then came in and made that play. You get Nate going one way, Nate's going to go that way too.
Nate in the fridge. They hard to change direction. That's Emmitt Smith. He'll have the first down. Stopped by Romanowski and Evans.
And here's where you need it. If you just watch what it looks like in the middle of the line, once that ball snapped, see guys fire out. The first guy out stepped Noski. Then everyone in the left moves. Then you stay low. You get under your guys. See everyone get underneath the shoulder pad. Drive those legs. Take them where they want to go. And Emmitt is going to find a hole. Mark Stepnoski got hurt on that play. And, you know, he had that bad knee, Pat. He had that total knee reconstruction.
He was holding his right knee, but he came back from knee surgery last year when a lot of people thought he was through playing. Now it's his ankle that he's pointing to.
Hey, I think that, you know, that offensive line is probably the best offensive line in football, and Mark Stepnoski of that group could be the most underrated and maybe one of the most productive. He has braces on both legs, but let's take another look. Here's Mark Stepnoski, the center. Now one thing that he has is he has leverage. You see him get underneath. He gets underneath, he drives. Now, at the end, right there, you see his leg gets caught, and it looks like the pile is going to come down on his left leg. That's a tough thing about being in the center.
Yeah.
You know, you're the center of everything, including piles.
And you hope it's not his knee. And I don't think it is. I'm not going to be able to tell from this distance. No, certainly, but you hope not.
Yeah, the thing that I've noticed, if a guy has had a knee and he gets another one, I was just going to say, he usually throws his helmet.
Hellestrae has replaced him. Dale Hellestrae. And Aikman back to throw it and going deep for Harper. Made the catch. Flags on the play. Harper made the catch, but I think this penalty is going to be against him, and Aikman is slow getting up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he was really unloaded upon. I mean, there's flags down here, but where was Aikman hit as he threw that ball? You wonder why a quarterback has to be big and a quarterback has to be strong, is to take hits like that.
Twice by Fuller.
I mean, he really put that one on him.
It's against Harper. I thought it was.
One thing everyone complains about Cowboy wide receivers pushing off, not as much Harper as Michael Irvin, but you watch him here as he's making a move. He was going to go out and up. Allen is just going with him. McMillan is going with him, I mean, and then he gets that push. He pushed him with that left hand.
Number 80, offense, 10 yards in the previous spot. The repeat first down.
Yeah, what he tried to do was get Mark McMillan and just push him beyond him with that left hand and then come up and catch the ball short. See him push him right there? Then he was going to come back and go up and catch it. That was a good call by the official.
The word on Stepnoski is that it's his left ankle. And whether or not he'll return is questionable. Left ankle. Here's Aikman back to throw it. Gets it to Novacek. Andy Harmon. Byron Evans.
Stepnoski has a lot of stuff on there. I mean, he got that knee brace. Then he got an ankle brace. You see, they took the shoe off. Now they're taking the ankle brace off.
The Eagles' Broderick Thompson has gone to the locker room. It's a groin problem with him, and now he's coming back out. They retaped it. Broderick. Aikman. Irvin. I don't know how, but that pass is complete to Michael Irvin.
That's just all body. That's what you can do when you're as big and as strong as Michael Irvin is. And he does that as well as anyone, is use his body. And Troy Aikman knows it. He knows if he gets that ball out there and it just gets to be a jump ball or a fight for the ball, that Michael Irvin is going to come up with the biggest share of them.
With that catch, he's now moved into 4th place on the Cowboys all-time receiving list. He just passed Bullet Bob Hayes. First down, Dallas. Galbraith in motion. Aikman gives to Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt Smith to midfield. Greg Jackson and William Perry make the stop.
Eric Williams knocked William Fuller down and wouldn't let him up. He knocked him down, and then he stood above him, and he just wouldn't let him up. I think that's for the Troy Aikman thing, but watch Eric Williams here when he's going to hit Fuller. And then after he hits him, he's going to knock him down. You see him come in there? Right there. He's going to knock him down, and then he's going to stay with him, and he's not going to let him get up.
I think if he said don't get up, I wouldn't get up.
Well, I think he saw him hit Aikman when he threw it to Harper, and he didn't want Fuller to do any more of that today.
This is Emmitt Smith again. That's very nearly the first down. Romanowski made the stop. 1:45 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Dallas leads by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, if you watch him, here's the same thing. I think that Eric Williams has decided that Fuller isn't going to make any more plays today. And he's going to block him until that whole thing over. And Fuller just wants to fight him until it goes. And they're going to be down, and he's going to take a takedown, and then he's going to get a pin. That was about a 5-count pin.
And Fuller has come out.
Eric Williams had about enough of Fuller today. You aren't getting there anymore.
Here's Aikman. Swings it out to Darrell Johnston. Johnston out of bounds at the 31-yard line of Philadelphia. Zornich knocked him out of bounds.
I'll tell you, I think Eric Williams did everything to Fuller that you can do. And that's what you like in an offensive lineman, that you don't have to be passive to be an offensive lineman. And that's what Eric Williams brings to this offensive line of the Cowboys, a defensive mentality, a certain toughness that you can take control of a game.
And when your quarterback gets hit like Fuller hit Aikman, you retaliate. A flag on the play. Romanowski in to stop Emmitt Smith, but a flag downfield. Tell you what, it's very humid. It has been all day. So humid, in fact, it's raining.
It just burst. I like wind chill better than humidity.
Offside. 96 defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
Just watch. Here's Williams again, and this has nothing to do with the penalty, but just when he gets into the point that, you know, that he's had enough and he's going to use his toughness, and he's in a groove now that he's just darn near with one punch. He's just knocking guys out. I mean, he's knocking guys to their back, and then he's jumping on them and punching them and doing about everything you can to a defensive guy.
And his elbow's hurt. He's not 100%.
Yeah, and then you just kind of take a knee and have someone hose you down.
Michael Zordich is the Eagle player who's down. That looks like a cramp.
Yeah, well, you were talking about that humidity. And the humidity brings the sweat, then the sweat brings the dehydration. What about sweat? Eric Williams there, when you weigh 330 pounds.
6'6", 6'7".
You're going to get a lot of sweat, and that rain coming down helps. I tell you, he did take control, Eric Williams.
He really did.
I've never seen too many efforts like that where a guy just said, okay, enough, we're playing a nice game here, and you want to do that, we'll make a fight and or a wrestling match out of it.
That would be a cramp for Zordich. At the end of the game, John and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game, and right now that's going to be a tough pick.
I don't know. I'm really impressed with the way Troy Aikman has hung in there today. You know, the way he started and had a slower start and then got things going and kind of kept him going. And he's taken some shots. He took some shots last week. And he's taken some shots today. And I'm sure that he's a guy that is very, very happy that the score is 21-7 now, because the thing that Troy Aikman hates is a wet football.
He really has difficulty throwing a wet ball. I don't know who doesn't, but he seems to have more trouble.
Well, it plays with his head. I think everyone
at least
does,
he thinks
but
he does.
It bothers him more than anyone.
That's Emmitt Smith. Down to about the Eagle 20. Stopped by Romanowski and Jackson.
That's Michael Zordich has one of the worst cramps I've ever seen. They just can't get that thing to uncramp.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score Dallas 21, Philadelphia 7. Bach.
Derek Kennard. You don't try and dodge it. You just walk right in it and let it hit you. And that probably feels about as good as
feels good.
Anything has today. He wants more. He's trying to drink
have a drink of it. Irvin is out to the left. To Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt to about the 17, stopped by William Thomas.
You know, the Eagles are running an interesting defense there, Pat, and they've done it some today. They only have 3 defensive backs in there, 4 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, and 3 defensive backs. They take Mark McMillan out. They figure they're going to run. They don't need any defensive backs in there, so they have an extra linebacker in there. So they're playing them in a 4-4-3.
Very unusual.
Yeah, it is unusual, and it would be easy to pass against or to spread out, and it's going to be tough to run against.
Golper in motion again. Emmitt Smith, the ball carrier again. Flag on the play. Penalty marker down. Smith got inside the 15 to about the 13. It's going to be holding.
Well, Troy Aikman has a special towel out there now to try and keep his hands dry. And he knows he doesn't want to throw it. Ernie Zampese knows he doesn't want to throw it because Troy Aikman has told him he hates to throw a wet ball.
61 offense.
Holding against Nate Newton. But he's in a position now where he's just about have to going to throw it.
See, and Britt Hager was the extra linebacker that goes in. As a matter of fact, Britt Hager is from Texas, and that's his wife right there. Watching this game, it's nice to come back home, but not to come back home and be down 21-7.
2nd and 17 for the Cowboys. Aikman again to Emmitt Smith. And William Thomas around the corner wraps up Emmitt Smith.
Well, that looks like something you do in a rodeo or something, the way William Thomas came around that corner. Watch him. He's down in a 3-point stance. He's not going to fool anyone. Tuanay blocks down. Kennard misses him. Kennard was going to trap him. Derek Kennard. He completely missed William Thomas. Whew, can't do that.
3rd and 19.
Now I think Aikman's going to have to throw this one, huh?
Yeah. 3 wide receivers. The handoff is to Emmitt Smith. Smith out of bounds at the 20 by Michael Zordich, who must have gotten rid of those leg cramps that he had.
Now maybe the Eagles know that he's not going to throw it too. Watch him. I formation is going to be the lead to the right. He cuts back. Nate Newton makes a good block. Eric Allen misses a tackle. Little straight arm, and Gardner knocked into the wall. That guy saved him from something down there.
He still hit pretty hard.
Yeah, but he hit it feet first. I think if the guy hadn't have saved him, he would have hit it head first.
Boniol will try field goal from 38 yards. And it's good. And the Cowboys increase their lead to 24-7. Kickoff. Jeff Seidner is hit down by Bates.
Tell you, Bates may not be the fastest guy in the team, but if he's not the fastest guy in the team, how's he get to be the first guy down there all the time? The special teams is 90% just wanting to. Watch him. He just comes like he's shot out of a cannon there. And when he's shot out of a cannon, he's going for something. He looks like a whirling dervish.
That's as fast as he's going to go when he comes shot out of a cannon.
And he's doing that with a broken wrist. I saw him the other night, and I said, "How you doing?" He said, "Oh, it's good." He said, "I just got a broken wrist. That's all it's bothering me." He didn't have a tape or anything on it. No cast or nothing.
Here's Cunningham back to throw it. Gets it to Bavaro, who slides at about the 28-29. First down, Philadelphia. Slow getting up.
I saw Bill Bates in town the other night. He was giving a motivational speech, and I bet he's pretty good at that. But he was saying
motivation?
Yeah.
I bet he is.
You see, he's wearing a cast there now. I mean, he has a broken left wrist, but the other night he was saying, "Yeah, I broke my wrist a little," and he was kind of rubbing it, saying the only thing it does is foul up my golf game. But other than that, he doesn't even know he has a broken wrist.
Doesn't bother motivational speeches.
Or anything else.
Cunningham fires to Maurice Johnson. He's taken out of bounds by Larry Brown. Broderick Thompson, by the way, had to come out. Tom McHale has replaced him at right tackle for the Philadelphia offense.
Talking about other guys that have played well, I think Larry Brown and Kevin Smith had, because one of the big parts of this Philadelphia offense is Fred Barnett and Calvin Williams, and they've been pretty quiet today, and I think they've been excellent coverage against them.
Second down. Cunningham draw play. Garner for 3 or 4. Russell Maryland brought him down.
Russell Maryland just makes plays, and anytime you run a draw in there, I think. Remember that old guy that would stand in there and play the draw, the policeman. The old cop. I'll rush. You stand there and play the cop. I think on this team, I think Russell Maryland's a cop. I think for the Eagles, I think the Fridge is a cop. I'll take care of everything around the line of scrimmage.
You guys go ahead and rush, On third down, they're showing blitz. Cunningham fires, gets it to Walker, and gets enough for a first down. Brock Marion made the stop on Herschel Walker.
Randall Cunningham is one of those hot and cold type quarterbacks. I mean, he can get real hot and put a lot of things together, and conversely, he can get cold and not put anything together. And so he had a good streak early, and then he had a cold streak, and now he's trying to get a hot streak.
He needs a hot streak. The rain has stopped, by the way.
And he's just had a tough time against these good Cowboy team.
Pass complete to Joseph. Dixon Edwards there as soon as he caught the ball.
And that's the one thing that impresses you about this defense that Butch Davis has here is that they all run so well. I mean, if you look at the defensive linemen, the linebackers, the secondary, they all run. And then when they run, they get there and they tackle well too.
Butch Davis is pretty impressive to talk to too.
Yeah, I think there's a guy who's going to be a head coach in this time and not too distant future.
I think you're right. Cunningham throws low. Chad Hennings was right in his face. James Joseph, the intended receiver.
Rich Kotite still looking at that. The last real good play he came up with was that fake to Joseph and that throw to Herschel Walker for the touchdown.
Zeke Bratkowski alongside. I asked Zeke before the game. I was talking to him down on the field. How much longer are you going to continue to coach? And he said he talked to Bart Starr last week, and Bart said as long as you enjoy it, don't stop it.
I think that's just about true of anything.
Yep. Cunningham back to throw. Under pressure, flag on the play, and down he goes.
And again, it was Charles Haley because Cunningham looked at Haley. That's one thing a quarterback can't do is he can't see the pass rush. If he ever looks at the pass rush, then he takes the eyes off downfield. That time, he saw Haley coming from the left side and looked at him and brought the ball down. Watch, here's Haley. Now watch when Haley comes from that left side. Watch Cunningham right there. You see he sees him? Then he puts the ball down. Then he has to take off the minute he sees that. Now he starts to run. It's all over.
78 offense.
Tripping
penalty is declined.
Was the penalty called tripping. That's declined, and the Eagles will have to punt. Kevin Williams back deep. Cunningham over on the sideline. Brian Barker to punt it. That's a good kick. Williams going to let it bounce. Into the end zone. They'll bring it to the 20. Good effort. Cowboys take over at their own 20, leading 24-7.
This is out.
8:59 left to play. Eric Williams had cramps in his thigh and lower leg.
And that was a two-man job to get that one out of there. I mean, he had about 4 hands working on that calf.
Aikman gets to Lincoln Coleman. He and Tommy Agee are the two runners now, the two backs for the Cowboys. Byron Evans made the stop.
Now he's trying to walk it off because you get a cramp and then it'll go away, and then if you don't keep moving, the thing will come back on you.
Comes right back.
And sometimes you do keep moving and the thing will come back on you.
It just won't go away. You're right. Larry Allen has taken his place, by the way. Emmitt Smith getting a rest.
That's why, that humidity and the sweat, the dehydration, causes those cramps.
Aikman, nothing there. Just had to throw it away. Nobody could get loose. Tommy Agee was the nearest Cowboy, number 34. Eric Kennard has dropped a few, I would think, today.
Well, he dropped a few today. I mean, he didn't drop a few coming into today.
No.
But, I mean, we have some of the biggest guys in all of football. When you have Derek Kennard there, you have the refrigerator, you have Nate Newton, Eric Williams with cramp. I mean, we got some big guys out there in this football field.
Leon Lett's not going to just blow away either. Aikman. To Alvin Harper, I believe. Not enough for a first.
He's laughing. He was trying to get that first down.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, if you're going to run that pattern, and Alvin Harper knows it, Eric Allen knew it. Eric Allen's trying to stop him from getting the first down. Harper's trying to get to the point of the first down, and Aikman would like to throw it to the point of the first down.
Jet into punt. Jeff Seidner back deep for Philadelphia. Hellestray, the snapper, has been playing, so he had to go dry his hands. Jet end over end. Making a pretty good Cowboy bounce. Finally does. Now Seidner picked it up and was knocked out of bounds at the 20. Bill Bates, Brock Marion down on the coverage.
Sunday.
That picture on the left is Emmitt Smith last Sunday. The one on the right today. This is last Sunday now. Emmitt checking his beeper to see what the message was. Somebody called him. He had on the headset. Somebody called him and said, "We're talking about him. Madden's talking about you." And that's what they're all laughing about. And we're saying, "Who you got on the beeper?"
Hey, you wonder
Some
how
friend of his called and said we were talking about it.
Yeah, someone was watching television, called him on his beeper, and he got down on the sideline. That's technology.
Football has come a long way. Here's Cunningham. Flushed out of the pocket, chased by Jeff Coat. Down he goes. Sliding at about the 25.
We're talking about this Dallas Cowboy defense and how well they can run. You know, they don't have to have a spy for Cunningham. Remember when people used to have a spy, they had one guy just assigned to him when he runs? Now they figure that they have so much team speed that when he runs, they can just go and catch him.
Even Jim Jeffcoat's gotten faster.
Yeah, because he doesn't play as much. I think if they keep him under 25 plays, he can be as effective as ever.
Cunningham has the ball batted backwards. And now slammed to the ground by Russell Maryland.
He slammed it to the ground because Russell Maryland wanted a touchdown.
We saw him score once.
Yeah, he saw that ball up in the air, and those toes weren't bothering him then. Watch him. He's going to come straight up the middle. Cunningham goes to throw it. Maryland hits it with his left hand, and now that thing goes way up in the air. And now about 4 of those big, fast linemen I was talking about were chasing that thing. And if any of them caught it, it would have been a touchdown.
Russell gets the rest.
You know, in life, a defensive lineman doesn't get to touch a ball a lot.
Just get to bat it once in a while. Flag on the play. The clock expired.
Yeah, usually in practice.
5 yards. Repeat, third down.
Usually in practice, they don't even let the defensive lineman have a ball. They give them some little kicking ball or something for the coach to give them starts with.
Barry Switzer.
Now that's a new look for Barry. I don't know that I've ever seen him with a cap before.
I don't think I have either.
No, he's usually one of those guys that doesn't wear one.
I saw him in a golf cap one time.
The Eagles facing third down.
Same guy.
Different hat.
Third for the Eagles and Cunningham. Third down. He's back to throw it. Going deep. Nothing doing. No flag. Penalty marker down. No flag early, one late.
It's like that official heard you say no flag, and the minute you said no flag, he threw one in there.
Barnett was the intended receiver.
Old J-Dub, James Washington is in there arguing that he didn't do it.
Arguing with a lot of enthusiasm.
Hey, you're going to see Brown coming from the outside. Now he didn't do it. He's okay. And Washington didn't do anything, so they couldn't call it against Washington. It had to be against Brown.
I don't know how they called anything.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe they'll pick it up. They do that sometimes, you know.
Well, they haven't moved the first down marker yet.
24 defense.
Now they call it against Brown.
Yeah, Larry Brown. It couldn't have been against James Washington because he didn't do anything.
Neither did Brown.
Yeah, he's trying to get position right there. Is the only thing that they could have called is that he tried to stick his right shoulder inside of Fred Barnett.
That's it. That's close. I don't care what angle we look at it from.
They had one of those against Mark McMillan. It was close.
James Joseph took the pass from Cunningham. Shante Carver, who's the Cowboys' #1 draft choice, made the stop.
See Chad Hennings? He almost intercepted that thing.
He waved at it going by.
Yeah, Randall Cunningham had to get it over Chad Hennings.
Second down, about 2. Joseph, the lone setback. Handoff to Joseph. He lunged for perhaps enough, maybe a little bit short. Tripped up by Tony Tolbert and Godfrey Miles.
You know, do you understand when you look at Chad Hennings? I've never been able to figure it out, but how a guy that big flew airplanes?
Well, it's a special kind of airplane.
I mean, it would have to be. I mean, how could you be that big and be a pilot in the Air Force?
That's Joseph. And he's going to score. James Joseph ripped it up the middle. for an Eagle touchdown from 34 yards away.
Now they took Chad Hennings out. He was in the middle, and he was playing pretty well in the middle. And James Joseph just hit that middle. Watch that. I mean, he's just going to run the ball right up into this area here. You see Leon Lett has it. He over pursues a little right there. They get a good block on the linebacker. A missed tackle there by James Washington, and Joseph's in the end zone.
They're going to go for 2. Cunningham. Fakes to Walker. Cunningham, I don't think, made it. He went airborne and didn't make it. Didn't make it. Cowboy lead is now 24-13, 5:27 left. Eagles about to kick off, and the Cowboys are expecting an onside kick.
You know, everyone has a conversion chart in here. It says if you're down by 11, you go for 2. That's what the Eagles did.
They got the onside kick. The ball didn't go 10 yards. Was hit by a Cowboy, and the Eagles came up with it. And they've got it. Bounced off the chest of one of the Cowboy cover men. I think Mark Woodward made the recovery for the Eagles, and they take over.
That was a good onside kick. You see it here, you come. Usually, the way he started, it was like he was going to kick it to the right, kicks it back to the left, then the ball hits a Cowboy, takes a big hop up in the air, and then the Eagles have 3 guys there because you know which side you're going to kick it to. You say onside kick left, then everyone just runs to that left side.
Bounced off Brock Marion.
I don't know that Brock Marion could have handled that. I mean, it looked like it hit him and just ran right up his body.
5:27, 5:20 left to play. Still plenty of time. Cowboy lead is 11 points. Cunningham drops it to Vaughn Hebron. Hebron breaks a tackle and gets an Eagle first down, out of bounds, stop the clock.
You know, the Eagles use that chart to go for that too, but I don't know if you're down by 11. To me, I would think you get down by 10, and then with a touchdown and a field goal, you can tie. Because now by missing it, now you need 2 touchdowns.
Well, now you need a touchdown, and you go for 2 and get a field goal, and you tie. But they get.
That's probably what they figure, that you go for it, but then if you score again, then you go for it again.
Right.
So you have 2 points.
Here's Cunningham, chased by Chad Hennings. He just sort of squirted out of there.
You know, Chad Hennings is one of those guys that does give a push. That's what Barry Switzer said he likes about him. I mean, he's learned how just to take the pocket and just push it. I mean, he just pushed Antone Davis and just stayed with it, stayed with it, stayed with it. Cunningham couldn't find anything, and Chad Hennings ended up getting him.
2nd and 23. Cunningham gets going quickly. And he's back to throw it. Pass is complete to midfield to Fred Barnett, who takes a hit from Washington, but hangs on nevertheless.
Well, with these 2 deep safeties, these safeties just sitting in there, it is really tough. You have to be a tough guy when you come into this middle. Because when you catch a ball like that, you know that the next thing is going to be that. James Washington was just waiting there for that shot.
3rd and 4. Vaughn Hebron is the lone setback for the Eagles. Flag on the play. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Barnett. But a penalty marker down.
False start prior to the snap. 74 offense. 5 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
Call against Bernard Williams.
That's a rookie #1 draft choice. You know, all in all, he's had a lot of help over there against Charles Haley, but he's really done a pretty good job. I mean, they've been running at that side. Here he is right here. Here's Bernard Williams there. and it's not much. But once you get set, you can't move. You see, he just gave a little flinch right there.
3rd and 9. 3.5 minutes left to play. Cowboys up by 11. Now they'll stop the clock with 3:34. Back to throw it. Haley around the corner. Pass is caught by Calvin Williams. And the Eagles move deep into Cowboy territory.
But they are 3rd and long. You'd think they'd just go for the first down. Watch Calvin Williams. Kenneth Gant is going to come to the inside here, and he just gets right beyond Gant. That was a double coverage.
Heck of a catch.
He ran right through that double coverage. There were 2 guys there, short, deep, and there had been a 3rd guy on Calvin Williams before that.
Clock stopped. Now it's going at 3:08. Cunningham back to throw it. Incomplete. And no penalty marker down. Calvin Williams, the intended receiver. Today's game was produced by Bob Stinner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill.
And these fans are all staying here, Pat, because they know Randall Cunningham, and they know that he can get hot, then go cold, but they also know he can get hot again.
2:59 left to play. The handoff is to Von Hebron. Draw play. Kenneth Gant and Bill Bates converge to make the stop.
You know, an interesting thing here on 3rd down. Do you think in terms of 2 plays? In other words, you're going to go for it on 4th down, or do you think in terms of 1 and kick a field goal knowing that you need a field goal?
Cunningham to Fred Barnett. It's down at about the Cowboy 11. It's a first down.
Hey, Randall Cunningham has whatever he started the game with, he has it back right now. Because he's zipping this ball into coverage. And if you just watch this, I mean, the coverage is there. They got the bumps, and he's just drilling it in there before they can react to it.
He almost threw this one sidearm.
Well, he can. I mean, he has that long delivery. And again, he's a dangerous guy.
Don't forget, next Sunday, Fox NFL Sunday begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, with the hottest 1-hour pregame show on television. Then it's Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader action at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Chicago battles Detroit. The Rams take on the Saints. Redskins face the Colts. And at 4 o'clock Eastern time, John and I'll be in Arizona as the Cardinals, who won today, take on the Cowboys. The other late games, the Falcons travel to Los Angeles to face the Raiders. And Tampa Bay squares off against San Francisco. Check local listings for the games in your area next Sunday right here on Fox Sports. Right now on Fox Sports, 1st and 10 Eagles with the Cowboy 11, and Cunningham back to throw it. He's going to take off. Cunningham is down at about the 1-yard line after he had to come out of the pocket.
See, and the Eagles only have one timeout left. They're going to get the 2-minute right now, though.
And 2 minutes to go. The Eagles are at the Cowboy 1, and it's 24-13 Dallas.
How do I like
2 minutes left. Dallas 24-13. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The Eagles have it 1st and goal at the 1. Now they're in a situation, John, where if they score, they have to go for 2 points.
They have to go for 2, and then if they had their timeouts left, they could probably kick the ball deep, but they only have 1 timeout left, so I think they'd probably have to go for an onside kick.
They've tried one successfully to start this drive. That's Garner, and he didn't get in.
There's a big play by Robert Jones. because, again, the Eagles only have one timeout left. Watch Jones. He's going to come, and he's going to hit that thing. He reads it, comes right around the pile, gets his shoulder square.
That's a good tackle.
That is a great tackle.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that the Eagles don't throw down here, because with no timeouts left, at least with an incomplete pass, that stops the clock.
Cunningham gives to Garner, and he's thrown backwards for a loss.
Now I'm really
Robert Jones again. Now they got to take their timeout. And
I
now
don't
they're
mean
out.
a second guess, but they should have thrown both of those balls. I mean, it's just a thing, because if he hits that play again, then you have to use your timeout. You see, and the Cowboys, for some reason, are playing run down here. And you'd think a play pass, you could get something in the end zone.
Robert Jones with 2 key plays to knock the Eagles backwards. 24-13 Cowboys lead. 1:21 left in the 4th. The Eagles out of timeouts. Texas Stadium has had a busy afternoon.
And they're not leaving.
Charles Haley had a big busy afternoon himself. Those of you who watched the Rams and the Giants, welcome to Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall here with John Madden. The Cowboys lead the Philadelphia Eagles 24-13. That's the final. The Rams have beaten the Giants. It's 3rd down and goal for the Eagles on the 7. They're out of timeouts.
Yeah, the Eagles foul that up, because when you're on the 1-yard line, that's a running down, but not when you only have one timeout. You need 2 scores. Then it becomes a passing down.
Now this is a passing down. Flag on the play.
And the Eagles are going backwards fast.
Tom McHale moved.
False start prior to the snap. 68 offense. 5 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
They were at about the half-yard line. Now they're back.
Now you can see he's ready to pass protect. He's back there. Now once you get set, you can't move at all. And just that little move there. He's in there for Broderick Thompson.
Jeffcoat got him with that little flinch. Made him move.
Jeffcoat had gotten Bernard Williams on that other side too.
3rd and goal at the 12. 1:21 left to play. Cunningham has to duck under and does duck under. Pass, I believe, is intercepted in the end zone. Larry Brown came up with the interception in the end zone. And that should do it. The Eagles are out of timeout.
Now that Cowboy defense has played great all day, and those 2 corners have been superb.
Cowboys will take over. And they lead 24-13.
You're just going to see Larry Brown out here. They spread the defense out, spread the offense out, try and get everyone off. Brown started up like tight coverage, then he just backs off, and then when Cunningham starts to scramble, he stays underneath. He's staying between the receiver and Cunningham, and Randall Cunningham just threw it right to Larry Brown, who had good position. There was nothing there for Cunningham to throw to.
Larry Brown still got the ball.
And he's going to keep that ball. We were again talking about how well those Cowboy corners and whole secondary, but well, the whole defense is playing. They're #1 in the league. What the heck?
Miller Lite, player of the game, is Troy Aikman. He took another beating. Confused perhaps a little bit by the Eagle defense and the coverage in the beginning, but bounced back. And he really hummed that last touchdown pass that he threw to Novacek.
That was a thing of beauty. And, as you say, he started off slowly. Things weren't working for him, but he made things happen.
They'll just run this one out. The Eagles can't do anything but shake hands now.
You watch this, and we've seen them the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
They're the best team in the NFL.
Charles Haley, one of the great contributors today and every week. Bill Bates, Lincoln Coleman, William Fuller. Bill Roman